Good morning, everyone. This is Dana Alderman. I am your instructor for DES250. It is Module 5. Today I have Michael with me. Thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody that is watching the recording as well. I just want to remind you that this module, at the end of the mod, you will be having a presentation that requires you to go on camera for a few minutes. I'd like you to practice doing that with your peers or in here. You know, when we first come in, you can do that. Just make sure that you have an area where you can do your presentation. It's not very cluttered. There's not a lot of people around, not a lot of noise, just to be very professional. I just want to remind you that especially, you know, when you're remote on an online environment and you're looking for a position in the industry or talking with a client, it's really important to make sure that you are as professional as possible, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off camera. And I'm going to share screen. Excuse me. All right. So like I said, welcome to DES250 Portfolio Design, Module 5. My name is Dana Alderman. As I said, this is my phone number and my email address. I have office hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. I have one-on-one sessions available if you would like. Sometimes on Saturdays I can meet students depending on what's going on. Usually towards the end of the module, I'll offer some time on a Saturday. So all you have to do is ask. Michael, did you want to introduce yourself?
Am I doing it over mic or?
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Michael O'Brien. I live in Philadelphia, PA. I've been freelancing for over 24 years now, illustration, painting, graphic design, web, everything. I'm looking forward to this portfolio class because I got to get mine together after, well, I've been disabled for 10 years, so I'm trying to reinvent myself. Trying to get more commercial with my career. And that's pretty much, I got a family, I got a girlfriend, a 5-year-old daughter, and an English bulldog named Lola. Mm-hmm. And that's my life. So
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your appreciation.
All right. So so this is what we're going to go through today. Get back up there. We're gonna talk about professionalism, the course overview, lectures. Actually, I talked about professionalism already. Our lectures are Monday and Tuesday. Your course expectations, the presentation, what's a portfolio. Then we will cover your assessment 1A, which is your faculty program advisor critique, and then your website URL. We'll talk about templates. I'm going to do a demonstration on combining and reducing file size with Acrobat. And then we're going to look ahead at future course assessments. So it's really important that you watch all of the lectures first, okay? I cannot stress that enough because the assignments cover certain things. It tells you what to do, but it doesn't go into depth of what's expected. So I want to make sure that you understand exactly what's expected. Not only that, we do critiques in here, feedback in the live session. Hello, Sherry, welcome. In the live session, you will, your revisions will be, I'll be giving you feedback in your in the live sessions, okay? And then you will just take them and revise them again. You will have 4 times of revisions. So all the revisions will be done in lab, unless for some reason that you do not want your work critiqued in class, you need to let me know by Saturday. Otherwise, I will assume that you are okay with it, okay? So if you do not get it in class, then I will have to arrange another time where you won't be able to be there for the feedback. Okay. So let's jump over the, no, what's up with this screen? Hold on one second. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with this thing today. Okay, let's jump over to the course real quick. So as always, it's set up the same way. Okay, in our announcements, we have the welcome, all the information about me and about this course. Your course learning coach is Christy Paulson. She's an awesome, awesome resource. I will advise you that everything in here in this class is an assessment. And that means basically it's a test, right? But you can go and you can get help from Christy if you want to. But these are assignments that are pretty much already done. You just have to do a lot of tweaking, right? And then, of course, you'll see, the lecture today, I will be putting resources in here from time to time. Usually I post the lecture in the announcement, and then I post it on the live link page, okay? So, oh, I forgot to put my bio in there. Oh, I will put that in there this afternoon as soon as I am done. I knew I forgot something. In the course media page, understanding your audience, conveying personality, expressing your design thinking, demonstrating a range, conveying depth and experience, and avoiding pitfalls, okay? This is all planning for your web design portfolio. Now, when you look at the assignment, it says Muse or Behance. You do not necessarily have to use the Muse. If you do not have one or you don't want to use it, that's fine. But if you have a Muse portfolio, you are more than welcome to use it, okay? And this right here, course planning web design, growing your freelance business. Many of you will be doing freelance business. So it's really important to watch these videos. It'll give you some insight as to what you can do. Here is up and running with Behance. I will be covering this. I'm going to give you an introduction to Behance, how to set everything up. And then we have a WordPress class here. And then you also have Adobe DC Essential Training, combining the files and things like that. But I'm going to show that to you as well. Okay, any questions with this so far? Okay. So our live sessions will be at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, Monday and Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern Time, okay? You will find your recorded sessions here, like I say. I don't want that. All right. So expectations, any kind of late work with this course needs to be, you need to have permission from me to turn in, okay? Now, Wednesday is the absolute latest deadline that any revisions from the week before will be accepted, okay? You still need to contact me and let me know what's going on before that due date, okay? Communication is the key here, because in a real world setting, if you are in-house, say, or even working just freelance with a client, whose responsibility is it to contact the client when you can't meet a deadline? Anybody want to answer that? Yeah, Michael says ours and Sherry says ours. So why? Why is it important to contact your client and let them know? You can use your mic if you want to as well.
Number one is professional, and you got to let your client know because your client's got somebody to answer to too, usually.
Exactly.
Time is money.
Yes, and yeah, that's huge. Especially like you just made a good point. If they have somebody to answer to as well. Not only that, if say for instance, you have a magazine advertisement that's going out, right? Your due date is like Thursday this week, right? But their due date is like, I don't know, maybe it's the following Thursday. It's usually a week turnaround or whatever. But you never get the magazine advertisement to them, right? Well, all of a sudden your client is not going to run in that magazine, but they had to pay for it, right? So
Putting a lot of people out of business.
yeah. And not only that, you can lose your job.
Absolutely.
You
Never
lose
get
your job
work
as a
again.
freelancer, your credibility. There's a lot of things that go along with this. So I'd like you to treat this class as if you are an in-house designer or a freelancer, whichever you choose, and communicate with me, your client, okay? So, the one thing about being out there is, a freelancer, you have your freedom, but you still have to answer to people regardless. That will never go away, especially when you're charging money for a service, and your clients are the ones that are paying you. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the presentation and what a portfolio is. So what is your understanding of a portfolio? You guys can unmute yourself and we can talk about this or whatever. And why do you need a portfolio? And what type of work should be in your portfolio?
I use portfolios to represent myself. It's kind of like being a freelancer. You got to sell yourself all the time. So if somebody wants to see something, I usually use two types of portfolios. I got a website online, and then I can send links to people or clients. Facebook's actually a very good thing, even though I try and stay away from Facebook. But
it's a showcase.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But also have it in paper. Make sure you got a binder with some work in it to direct it to a specific client or job, because sometimes they want to see it on paper, they want copies of it, whatever.
You bring up a really good point. In this class, we will be concentrating more on the digital portfolio, but I do suggest once you are done with your portfolio revisions, going and just having one printed of each project or something like that, put it on your black mat boards, fold them, like trifold or your business cards, a letterhead, so they can tangibly feel and see those projects. That's a great point.
I like having the online version first.
Yeah.
So that way all I need to do is print it out if need be. And I'll set up my online portfolios so I can do that very quickly and easily.
Right.
I notice a lot of times if I have a sit down with a client face to face, they want to take notes on it.
Right. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. And Sherry, what did you want to add something to this?
No, I just said that it was a showcase of you and your work.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's more about showing, not saying, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What type of work do you think should be in your portfolio, Elizabeth? You can use your microphone, sweetie. Maybe she's not ready. Oh, you're in a shot? Okay. So whoever wants to take that, go ahead.
The best work.
Okay, so the best work, but what kind? I mean, do you think it's
Well,
safe?
whatever is aiming towards.
Go ahead.
Shouldn't it be a variety of your work?
Yeah, variety to show a multitude of your skill sets, right?
Like, in different, like InDesign, Photoshop.
In different softwares?
Yeah.
So I think it depends, because a lot of times you'll have something direct
Mm-hmm.
And other times you may have a genre of like different genres. Like I said, I do a lot of things, so
Yeah,
I
it can
mean,
be a lot of versatility. In your case, you're kind of like a Michael about all trade. You know? When
yeah, I
it,
always say that everything starts out with pencil and paper,
right, right.
and like I actually, if need be, I'll throw some illustration in there um, to give them a basic idea. Uh, and then if it's like a graphic design, like a logo or something, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna start out with illustration, and that'll be in there. But not like I'm gonna be have a paint job in there for a digital logo.
Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing about the logo. A logo is not a brand unless it's on a cow. We already know that, right? But
Oh
it's
yeah,
part of a brand. So when you want to showcase a logo, do you think it's okay just to have the logo in your portfolio, or do you think you should incorporate it into something that shows real world value to the client?
well, yeah,
Value.
depending on what they're going to use it for or the audience they're aiming at.
I don't think it should be in there by itself.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think so is either. No.
in included in whatever you're doing, like a magazine
Mhm.
article or
Even a
um
business card or letterhead or a package designer, it should be included in something to show real world connection. Part of a campaign would probably be show a better skill set level, because that'll show that you understand how to implement your logo into something, and then that you know how to carry the brand color theme, and yep, use it as a business package. Thank you, Elizabeth. Um, it's a great way to showcase your abilities, with a multitude of skills, especially when you get out into the design world. When you first graduate, there you are expected to know at least the three basic programs, which is Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign, right? So you should be able to show a little bit of your photo manipulation skills. You should be able to show your layout skills, paragraph styles, master pages, everything with InDesign. And then you should also be able to show some of your logo design or illustration or something like vector skills. Okay. So thank you. Did you want to say something? No? Okay. So the definition of a portfolio is a documentation and demonstration of your skill sets represented by a body of work that you have created as a student or as a professional. Elizabeth said it should be used so all the work that you do. Not all the work. The thing is you don't want to put every piece of everything that you've ever done in your portfolio. If you were to do that, you definitely run into an issue where the more amateur work or the earlier work, when you're learning things, it could definitely hinder you getting a position or a client. Now, as you get your skill sets get better and you learn more things, of course, that you feel you do good in. Yeah, actually, yeah. So, I mean, you want your best pieces of work. You don't want too many in there, right? But you don't want too little either.
you don't want too less either.
Yeah, that's what I'd said. So a portfolio, it clearly shows your individuality as a designer and your skills, and it talks about your skills without you directly saying, I'm good. Without you being, somebody looking at you and thinking, wow, that person's uppity or wow, it's okay to be confident, right? It really is. But then you have the ones that are too confident and it kind of really rubs people the wrong way, and then you lose the client, right? The one thing I want you to understand that your resume, when you're working in-house, your resume will get you an interview. But if you don't have a portfolio, they won't even look at you. It's the portfolio that helps you get the job because it showcases what you know how to do and what you went to school for, right?
Correct.
So employers want the total package. So what is the total package? Excellent communication skills. So tell me, with the excellent communication skills, what courses have you taken that will help you with that? About psychology.
Yeah.
About philosophy.
In the statistics.
Mm-hmm. What about your man? I can't remember which one it is. Communications. Your management class.
2 of those.
Yeah. And your interpersonal skills and personal traits. I mean, your personal traits are your personal traits, but how you act and things like that. That kind of goes with those other 2 classes, right? So technical proficiency. Does anybody know what that means? It is how well you carry out the technicalities of layout design, branding, logo, campaign management, research, sketching. Anything else? I could go on and on with everything that you've learned in your degree program.
That's
It
what I
is
was
your
going to
proficiency
say.
or how well you understand and implement it, right?
Correct.
So when you're thinking about technical proficiency, and this is a little project that I want you guys to do off by yourself. It's not really a project, but I want you to do something off by yourself. When you have a little bit of time, I want you to sit down and I want you to think about what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. In an interview, if you go somewhere in-house, they will ask you those questions. So it's really good for you to have those answers already. Not only that, not just for that. The other reason to have it is because we must always evaluate ourselves in order to grow, right? Mm-hmm. I'm always evaluating myself still to this day. We are never, none of us are ever perfect, and we will always, always, always learn something new. Okay? So I want you to sit down and evaluate your strengths and your weaknesses and learn how to spin your weaknesses in a positive light. For instance, my strengths are advertising, logo design, and layout design, as well as illustration. I thrive on working with people, and I like to give back to the world. My weaknesses, also one of my biggest strengths, is being analytical. Being analytical is a great thing sometimes, but sometimes it hinders me. But I've learned to pull back a little bit and evaluate things from a more of a distance instead of being so connected. You see how I spun that to a positive? You got to spin it to the positive, right? So I want you guys to work on those, okay? So that way, you're not like a deer in headlights when you go for an interview when they ask you those questions. Practice, practice, practice. All right, what about leadership? Where do you learn leadership from? Does anybody know?
Mentors.
Mentors, exactly. So you guys that are in here, do you have any mentors?
Instructors.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can name them, I mean, if you want to.
My daughter.
Your daughter, okay, that's fine.
Sometimes you gotta kind of dumb it back to your younger years, and
I get it. Yep, I get it.
so when society takes over, you tend to take things way too seriously. Like the new math.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
I took it way too seriously, and actually it was very simple. So my 5-year-old nephew showed me up on it.
Well, that's, hey, you know, like I said, again, we all have something to learn, right?
Every day.
Yep. So your leadership, it can help you with your mentor. Your mentors can help you with leadership and things like that. But with that being said, and the mention of mentors, on the AIGA site, if you get a membership, there is a program for mentorships. Also, there's other mentorship programs that are for free. You have your instructors that are mentors, right? Like Gary said, you can contact us at any time. And like I said before with other students, I've told them after this course, just because this course is over doesn't mean that you are done with me. If you would like, you can contact me and I'm here for the rest of your life. Until,
Well, thank you.
you are very welcome. All right, so teamwork. Teamwork, you have learned to do that through what? Hello, Coralie, welcome. Go ahead, Michael.
Sports.
I didn't quite hear you.
Sports.
A sport. No, I'm talking about in the school here with your.
Oh, all right. Well, but the collaborate or
Yeah, you got it.
man.
Collaborate.
Well, yeah, collaboration and
The discussions, right?
yes, discussions.
Giving each other feedback.
The critiques.
Exactly. So that shows teamwork, right? In an in-house setting, what would you do?
Meetings.
You would do meetings with the rest of the staff. It's okay, Coralie, no problem, honey.
Everybody loves meetings.
Yeah. All right. So employers want people that have all these skills, right? Bottom line.
Yes.
So the attributes and that all creative professionals should possess. I'm going to go through these, and we'll talk a bit about some of them here and there. Being motivated and eager to learn. We've already talked about that, right? Being organized and developing organization skills. It's kind of the same thing, right? If you're not organized, you need to develop that. That means organize your computer. Make sure that you're using proper naming conventions, those types of things, right? Being able to multitask and juggle projects. This is a huge one because if you are working, well, either way, freelance or in-house, you need to know how to plan your time wisely and use a time management structure that you are able to finish your deadlines. And everything should be on time, right? You need to develop written and verbal communication skills unless you've already done so. I mean, if you are a great writer, that's a great thing. If you're not a great writer, you need to practice, okay? Your verbal communication skills are just as important because you will be talking to clients or you'll be talking to your boss. Why is number 5, being able to think critically, important?
You come up with something on the fly.
Because that's the area where you work out problems and multitask and all of it.
Exactly. Because if you cannot critically think of your work, it would never get better. You could not solve the problem. We are in a problem-solving industry, right? Everything we do. Oh, look at that, Coralie. Look at you. Problem solving, she said, before I ever said it. If we don't solve the problem for the brand, we don't come up with that unique identifiers or differentiation, right? We also need to make sure that we are familiar with social media, even though we don't like Facebook or Twitter. And I mean, I heard what you said, Michael, but you still need to be familiar with them because it is the way of life now.
Yes, it is.
The social media is huge. It's taken off so much over the last, I don't even know, 10 years, I would say 8 to 10 years, especially with advertisement and such. Free advertisement,
Yeah, you see
Yep.
it all the time on Facebook now.
Yeah. Well, I advertise my business on Facebook too. It's
There's
become a
social
crucial,
media hubs
crucial
coming
tool for
out
marketing
more
and
and more.
advertising. Exactly, Corley. What'd you say, Michael? I'm sorry.
There's more and more social media hubs, platforms, whatever, coming out all the time. Like,
Yeah. Well, we've got Tumblr, we've got Pinterest, we've got Reddit, we've got Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. I mean, there's so many.
Tumblr is nice because you can get away with like anything on there.
I have a Tumblr, but I haven't really used it since school. So, and LinkedIn, yeah. LinkedIn is more the professional one. You guys will be making sure that you make a LinkedIn account if you don't already have one. And we'll be.
LinkedIn's great for networking.
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is. All right, so number 7, being deadline oriented. We already kind of talked about that a little bit. Being assertive and confident in your abilities, but not too overly confident, right? Caring about your clients. You need to genuinely care about their needs
Empathy.
while still being knowledgeable enough to let them know what is best for their business. They are hiring you as a designer, right? They hired you for a reason. They hired you for your knowledge, right? But you need to be, as Michael said, empathetic to their needs. I don't know why developing good writing skills is down here because I should have taken that out. All right, so you need to be well-rounded. Have a can-do attitude. If there's something that you are not sure that you can do, don't say, oh, I can't do that. I'm telling you a little story, and I use the story a lot because, I mean, and it's amazing how it happened. I am also an illustrator, but I will tell you what, I cannot draw to save my life. Not at all. When I first got out of school, I had somebody approach me because I saw I did some flyers and things, and I do like these little cutesy characters, you know. They're more along the lines of, they're just 2D characters. They're not 3D or anything like that. And somebody had asked me would I do a dragon. I'm like, oh. I didn't really say anything to them, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I can. So I was just like, okay, I can try. That's all I can say is I can try. I did it and sent it, and she fell in love with it. And from that point, I just grew and grew and grew and grew, and here I am today. I do illustration. It's something I never planned on doing, ever. So don't put it out of the back of your mind. The other thing is even if you have something that somebody asks you to do and you know in your mind that you can't do it, find somebody that can help you do it. If you can't 100% do it, have them do it and teach you how to do it. As a way of saying thank you, hey, they gave you a project, right? They're making the money now, right? So maybe the next time around, I know a lot of students do not want to dabble in web design because it's pretty intimidating sometimes. I do web design. You find a way that you can do it. You got the Muse now. You've got different things that you can do. But I will say this. If you absolutely do not want to do web design, I'm sure you have friends, designer friends that do. And maybe you guys can do something together.
This is where networking comes in.
Don't turn anything away unless it's against your beliefs, of course, if it's something that's wrong, of course. But I'm talking about design. Okay? So you want to develop and maintain a good portfolio, and that's what this class is about, right? You're going to have passion for what you do, have a genuine interest. Let me ask all that's in here. Coralie, well, all of you, when you came into graphic design, was it because you had genuine interest, passion, or simply because it just looked interesting and you were trying to find something new? You can all answer.
I've done so much stuff that I started out illustrating with pencil and paper, and I want to do it all pretty much. I want to be able to start a project from illustrating on pencil and paper all the way up to web, and now, that's not realistic, but you know.
Well, no, it is realistic because I'll tell you, I'm doing it right now.
I am a marketing consultant, and I wanted to be able to complete my skill set so I could offer my clients from package to plate, because I have the creativity, I think it up, but then I always had to have somebody to do it. So I said, well, let's take out the middleman. I wanted to do it and just broaden my horizons, as it were, and let my creative side go, let it really develop it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. What about you, Sherry?
Well, I am a photographer, and I wanted to be able to utilize my pictures in my creative side. So I thought that graphic design would, help me be able to just do that.
Okay. So you were just, you knew that graphic design was a creative aspect, and you were just kind of, so now that you've been into the graphic arts, how do you feel about graphic arts?
I love it.
Good. So you're passionate about it, huh?
I am.
Good for you.
I make my own, which my mother, she taught me the photography side because, she always put that camera in our face when we were small.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing. My mother did the same thing. Go ahead.
So I started in my own photography in high school. And, well, I make my own Mother's Day cards and stuff, and she just loves it.
Oh, wow. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I like making greeting cards.
Elizabeth says she has an interest in graphic art, illustrator, and photo manipulation. Great. Awesome. So it's really important to have a passion or interest in what you're doing. And at this point, in this class, if you are not interested in it, you need to find something to inspire yourself. Never stop gaining inspiration, right? So you want to be curious about the industry. So you're always looking for new trends and different things. Don't get stuck on the new trends. I will tell you, because trends come and go, right? Mm-hmm. Elizabeth says, I draw pinstripe on cars, motorcycles, and any art that will sit still. That's cute. Any art that will sit still. Okay. You do it people too? I'm being a... That would be cool, though. Oh, wow.
I do custom airbrushing.
That's
graphics.
Awesome. And now, number 16, you need to find ways to break through the clutter. Does anybody know what that means? What does clutter have to do with anything?
Too much on a page.
No, this is talking about you as a designer.
Oh.
Organization?
No. Okay, so clutter being all the other designers out there, right?
Competition?
Competition. Find ways to break through the competition, right? Curly says niche. That's exactly, you need to find your niche. But, even if you don't have your own niche, be good, right? You need to pay attention to the smallest of details. Understand the importance of your research in your creative work. Research. Your projects, anything that you've done, the foundation of 80% research and 20% implementation should be used, always. Because if you don't research your project, what's going to happen is you're not going to hit the correct target audience. You need to know what your target audience needs, wants, how they will react, different things like that have to be done, right? You want to be teachable and humble. Why is being humble important? We know why being teachable is important. Why is being humble?
You don't want to oversell yourself.
Right. Because it's a turnoff for your clients. Everybody does not like arrogance. And you make the client upset. So being authentic to who you are as a designer, okay? Keep an open mind about things. You always, with this, I want to put on here, I'm going to write it on here too. Always have a listening ear. Always. After all, your client hired you, right? If you are not listening to them, it's not going to work. Your client will get angry. They will quit. And I don't know why that's in here twice. How many of you inspire yourself by going out into the world? Or how do you inspire yourself?
I look at all the different signs and logos and art that you see everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, Elizabeth. Yeah, and myself, I do that same thing. Walking around, taking pictures. I'm not a photographer. I'm a hobby photographer, I guess you would say. I've done some photo shoots and things like that. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I like to do it to relax, just like landscape. Sitting and looking in the trees for shapes and texture. I take pictures of textures. Anybody do that? Take a picture of textures?
I do.
And you build this huge library of stuff that you don't know when it'll work for you, right?
Right.
You know what's really interesting now? I just see everything critically. I look at even down to T-shirts and how the signs are and all the ads and the newspaper ads, and I look at the alignment, and it's like now it's a whole new world. I can't just like look at something to say, oh, it's there. Now I'm looking at all the things about it and the color, and if it's being what are my colors? If it's, a complement color, or if it's a, contrast color, it's so fascinating. It's like a whole new world.
Because, that's something that I started doing. As soon as, it wasn't even, I don't even know, probably about a month after I got into school that I started doing that same thing too. I think that's something that happens to most designers, if not all. I know yesterday my husband took me out for Mother's Day, and I had no idea where we were going, but I was just into looking at all the billboards on the freeway, thinking about our principles and things like that and what we're supposed to include. And I just thinking, God, there's no way. People can't even get that phone number. Why do you put 2 phone numbers on there? And I'm sure that's what you're talking about. Right, Coralie?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just fascinating.
It is.
And even now you take a look at the electronic billboards and how they're changing, and you look at the colors they use, and even the logos. It was something I was looking at the other day, and they had sort of like a target piece, but it was in red, black, green, yellow. And I was like, why did they choose those colors? First of all, those are colors of a country, and it doesn't pertain to anything that their business is. So now everything's, it's kind of funny, but
yeah. The thing is, though, it doesn't necessarily have to pertain to what their business is in your eyes. It might be something underlying that you don't really know. And that's why research is so important, You can find, for instance, remember a while ago, I don't know, Coralie, you probably remember, I talked about zigging and zagging. When somebody is doing in the industry one thing, you want to do something totally opposite.
Absolutely.
To grab that unique differentiation through your research and such, right? Now, okay, evidently the projects that you're doing here, most of your projects in your portfolio right now will be from school. Unless you've already been in the freelance industry, and some of you have, which is fine. It's about looking at those things that are going to make them unique, but not too over the top either. You can't be afraid to use simplicity, because sometimes the simplest solution is going to stand out. Okay? And then the last thing I want to make sure I tell you when it comes to these rules here, never, never, never stop learning new skills. Always look for something new. So. All right, so a portfolio is a work in progress. It will always be a work in progress. If you think you're at one point or another, you're going to be done with your portfolio, you might as well step back now and say, okay, I'm done. Because your skill sets will always continue to grow, right? You will revise your old work if you once you learn more skills, and you will put them in place of that. Or you will build clients, and then you will put those pieces of work. You never want to place, I'm going to go ahead and mute, I don't know. There's some ruffling around there. You never want to place less than your best work in your portfolio, because like I said, if you are placing work from, say, DES104, 103, those are your very first classes, and you really you're not showcasing a lot of skill set, right? The more you can showcase, the better the project. Say, for instance, you have a logo. If you have a logo and you want to include it in your portfolio, why not build a campaign for it? If you have the logo, it wouldn't be very much to develop a color palette, right? And maybe build an advertisement or a billboard, postcards, something like that. Sometimes, I know there's a couple people that did breast cancer awareness posters, and some wrestling posters, different things like that. So if that's something you want to do, talk with your AD about that, okay? I will not accept single logos, okay? So, if it's something that your AD told you that you can have, that's quite fine. But once it gets to the phase where I do the revisions, I'm going to have you implement it into something. My job is to push you. I'm going to push you past what you've already done. We're at that point now where you've learned everything you're supposed to learn for an associate's level. Now it's time to push you past that. Okay? And I know Michael and Coralie pretty much know me. Sherry, have you had me before? I don't remember, sweetie. I'm sorry. And for anybody that's watching the recording, if you have not, but just so you know, I'm not mean. I'm honest. And I need to let you know that our critiques are not meant in any way, shape, or form to hurt your feelings. Please don't take it personal. It's not personal. It's about helping you learn and grow. Okay? So with that, how do the principles of design play a key role in your portfolio? Anybody want to answer that?
The whole layout of it.
The portfolio itself, not so much the people.
Well, it shows that you understand it. It shows that you can work with it, that you're going to bring that to your client, those specific skills. And it also shows that you have an understanding of balance and color and typography. So those things are very important, not only to show what you have done, but what you can do.
Okay. What about the portfolio itself? Say Behance. You're using Behance. How can those principles of design be implemented into your Behance?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
I have a comment though. Is it something like when I set my portfolios up, since I do so many different kinds of art, I like to set it up so the first link on my portfolio on my website is like illustration, because I believe that that's where it all begins, and then it'll go to painting, and then it'll go to photography, and then graphic design, and then audio, video, and then so on and so forth. But I do it in that order specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like that would have to do with contrast and like your repetition and
Repetition. There you go. Repetition.
and the proximity of your work, you know, like
Everything in your portfolio. Say, for instance, you have one category for branding, one category for layout, one category for, maybe that's what you have, or you have
within a portfolio.
Huh?
Like my graphic design portfolio has portfolios within that portfolio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I was gonna say, maybe you have a project in each folder for that particular area.
and I like to set up an archive because like you said, put your newest, best stuff out because you got to meet the trends. Even though history repeats itself, I like to keep an archive because not only for myself, I can go back and look at something I did before, and you can actually learn from that to move forward. But if I have a client that wants to see something I did, 10 years ago, when maybe a generation they were from, I can go back and it's more like reference then, you know? Right.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, not everybody has the luxury of having all those projects right now. But I mean, say as far as, just for DES250 students, putting your best work in there, but the repetition in the Behance portfolio would come in that you would have a folder for each one of your projects. Let's take a look over at Behance while we're here. I wanted to open that up and forgot.
I kind of have a love-hate relationship for Behance, but I think it has its advantages and disadvantages. But that's just me. This is all personal. So
right. So I mean, I've got 9 in my portfolio right now. Okay. And each one, I haven't finished this one yet. I'm in the process of working on this one, but each one of these has the flat and then the mock-up, right?
all right.
This one, I still have work I have to do on these still, but they have a flat and a mock-up. So that's repetition, right? The thumbnail here, building contrast, right? Right? Also, in some of these, you can, say for instance, we'll go here, I'll edit this one.
One thing I really like about Behance is that I can spread that out through everywhere all at once. Mm-hmm. I get my most hits on my Facebook page. So that's one thing I like about it, but I can send it to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I can send it all at the same time. So that way it saves me a lot of time and effort. Mm-hmm. And that's one advantage to Behance. So
the one thing, that you can do here too is you can edit your spacing and keeping it consistent. So this was 60 pixels, I'm gonna keep it. Now for each one of these, you can do your dividers, your colors, you can do your background color if you want to. Say I want to do real light gray. Say this was a white, that way we could see that white, right? We can do the text styles, subheaders, paragraphs, captions, and text links, right? Everything would be consistent throughout the entire Behance portfolio, right? So that's repetition, right? So it's really important to be consistent and know exactly what you want to do in your site. I mean, this week, basically, with your Behance, you are just going to, actually, I'm going to take you to lynda.com. Let me do that, and we'll find one of those. So I'm going to come over here real quick. lynda.com playlist. I'm going to open it in a new tab. When you come in here, yours is going to look a little different. It's a student view. But I'm going to come up here and I'm going to type in setting up Behance. I believe that they have it in your reading and tools.
Yes.
Let's just type in Behance. Learning Behance. Yeah, see, yeah, creating an account and things like that. So it's not even that long, really. And you should have it also in your course media. Yeah, up and running right here. Creating an account. So that's in your reading material. Okay. All right. Why do I keep going back there? All right.
My Behance probably looks like junk because I really don't keep up on it.
Well,
But,
you will this module.
oh yeah, well that's why I said earlier. I was like, man, I love having this portfolio course, man, because it's gonna get me back up the pace. Like,
Yeah, nice. All right. So let anybody have any questions? We're going to take a 5-minute break and then we're going to move on to the assessment 1A. Okay. So I'm going to I'd like to all right. I forgot to put that in there. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
all right.
All right, I am back. Everybody else back? Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to our assessment. Assessment 1. Now, this first assessment is going to be done with your associate dean or your faculty program advisor. If you do not know, I'm going to go ahead and mute. I don't know who that was, but I'm going to, if you do not know who your associate dean or FPA is, please contact me as soon as you can. You should have already gotten your projects. Some of you might have already. If you have not, just simply email them 6 projects, of your best work, and they're going to critique. Okay. They will suggest changes, and you will make changes and submit it on Saturday. If you do not make the changes, you will most likely will not pass this class. So that it's really important to make these changes. Now, you may or may not agree with everything that your instructor or your FPA tells you to change. However, I will let you know, I mean, in a real setting, being an in-house designer, you will be expected to make changes to your work. Okay. This is where I said, don't take it personal. If for some reason you have a rationale for the reason why you didn't want to change something, let me know or let your AD know and talk with them about it professionally, please. When it comes to myself, next week I will be doing your critique and suggesting further revisions. In this class, you will have 4 revision sessions where you will increase the, or you will revise your work and increase your skill level, okay? So when preparing for your portfolio for the first time, you need to update the existing one. It pays off to have as much professional help as possible. So several professional designers review it and make sure that it is scrutinized from different angles to make sure all of your project pieces are the strongest that they can be. With that being said, I wanted to let you know that your FPA and then myself, we have 2 totally different opinions, right? We might agree on certain things. We might disagree on certain things. Everybody has their own opinion of things, correct? So, like I said, again, be honest and be professional. And if you don't agree with something, let me know, okay? So you will receive feedback from myself, and then you will revise the following week again. I need to make you understand one thing. Just because you received an A on your project in the first class or in the class that you created it in doesn't necessarily make it portfolio worthy. The reason is there are certain skill set levels for each class that you are learning. And once you get to 250, it's a total different ball game, because by 250, you've pretty much had all your design classes for the associate's degree, right? So we can either we can push you to that next level, or have you implement everything you've learned, right? But if you at a 103, 106, or 103, 114 level, you didn't get to learn everything that you know now. Does that make sense? So if you got an A for it, it means that you met the criteria for the assignment. Is that we submit all projects? No, 6 projects, Curly. 6. So a minimum right here of 6 projects. Okay. All right, so probably not, because well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could. It's up to your AD. To be honest with you, you can do your animate as long. I mean, maybe you put it on YouTube or something like that, and you probably put a link in. But you talk to your AD and see what they think. Michael, I would prefer 6 because we have quite a few students in this class, and I will not get through. I mean, if your work doesn't need a lot of revisions, I will suggest that you can add a few more. Okay. So you can either submit your Behance URL or your Muse URL. You don't have a Muse yet. If you don't have a Muse yet, don't worry about it. Okay. And then you're going to submit the single multi-page PDF with all the critique marks. All right, Corley, no problem. And then you are going to submit it and with your naming conventions as always, okay? I want to go back and talk about the discussion, okay? So in this discussion this week, as always, 150 words that you are going to be using. This is due by Wednesday, your first post. And you should also reply to your peers of 50 words or more. You are going to write about what it takes to make an ideal graphic design online portfolio. You're going to visit Shark and the library databases, and you go click on Google Scholar links and search for graphic design portfolios, or search on the web. My first post is here, and it talks about a little bit about portfolios and the kind of quality that you want to use. Okay, so this is due by Wednesday. Okay. Covered that. I gotta leave that open. Live sessions, discussion. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, I'm not really going to talk too much about this today. I will cover this tomorrow. Your graphic design resume is just as important, if not more important, when it comes to job hunting, because the graphic design resume is how you will be judged in the beginning, right? Basically, you hand your graphic design resume to, or you mail it or you submit it, and that's your first impression, right? It's how you get your foot in the door. So it is totally important. You cannot use placeholder text. You need to use showcase your design skills and your principles of design, okay? You can use your CSS 299 information, but not the paper. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do is copy the information from CSS 299, implement it into your other resume. However, I will be showing you a totally different way that you can use tomorrow. Okay. Any questions? I wanted to go back over here. I forgot. I want to show you the rubric, the breakdown for your first week. And it looks like it didn't stick. Why? Okay. Well, I have it over here. I put it in there. Yeah, I don't know. All right. So your first submission, you get 4 points for your required files. Okay. 8 points for your files less than 5 megabytes. And each one of these is 18 points, okay? If you've done everything that your AD has asked you to do, you will get 100 points, or 100%. If you've only done 50% of it, and I don't know why this is 11. I gotta change those. So this is for the first week, like I said. It's 120 points each project. Okay. All right. If you need body copy, images, or assets for any project that you've created in your program area, just ask. I've got many assets that you need. Just email me for the link. Okay. I have this right here. All these. Your Banker magazine, the CD, the DES250. It was the second magazine. The kayak, the menu, the milk. Miscellaneous has like barcodes and nutrition labels, State Trooper, tea, Walmart wine. So I have all that stuff. If you need anything, just let me know, okay? And then as we get a little farther along, we're going to be doing mock-ups, and I'll have those. I have those as well, okay? All right, we're going to come back to this in a couple minutes. I want to talk about the final and stuff. So let's talk about the final of this class. The final outcome is going to be a presentation. Your presentation is going to be anywhere between, what was it, 5 and 15 minutes, I believe. Let me go back and look. All right. Yeah, 5 and 15 minutes. Okay. So your presentation, it'll take between 5 and 15 minutes. And you want to practice using your design lingo, which is language, and rationale for your design choices. So there's got to be a reason for everything that you've implemented into your projects, right? Say, for instance, my heading right here. What is my reason behind, oh, it's not coming up there, but behind the red that I'm using? My rationale for that is because I have a color theme of the red and the gray, and I'm not quite sure what happened to the bottom one, but that's why I used red subheadings, right? And red bullet points to kind of bring it all together. Okay? So you want to think about those types of things. So you want to also get acquainted with your website or Behance. Okay? You want to be familiar with it when week 4 comes around, because you will be showcasing your projects. You'll also be creating a LinkedIn account, and you're going to, this is a place where you're going to meet new people, maybe new clients and groups, different things like that, okay? You will be presenting your 6 final portfolio pieces in your presentation, and you will be putting it on YouTube and submitting the link to the assignment area. It's important that you use your design language, and you will also be doing an on-camera for at least 30 seconds to introduce yourself. No, we're not doing this to be mean. We're doing this because this is your chance to start working out the nerves, getting them out, you know, because when you work with clients, you're going to have to look at them face to face, or you're going to have to do it via Skype or something like that. Okay. So for the final project, it is worth 185 points. Each project is worth 20 points each. That means the revisions, and you have 5 points for each mock-up. You got one mock-up per project. So it's 15 points, and then you get 5. And then your part 2 is your recorded presentation. Okay? I just want to give you the heads up now, thinking about, you know, what is at the end of the course. Okay? Any questions, Michael or Sherry?
No, I get it.
Okay. All right, so I am going to move into combining and reducing file sizes with Acrobat. There's some really cool things that you can do. I'm going to come over here. First thing, I'm going to go over to my courses, and I have my native files. What I do, week 1, magazine, 250, native projects right there. I'm going to copy this just for now and put it on my desktop. All right, so in my native projects, I've got my billboards. I'm going to open up my AI. I'm going to open up my logo because that goes with it. This is where I'm implementing more than that, right? And this is where, let's see, website. And postcard. I'm just opening up all my projects. My kayak. My magazine. And I'm probably missing a whole, whole bunch of images because I had moved everything. So I'm just going to ride with it. So what is the milk carton? Okay. Now I got all my projects open, right? Reset. I'll start with Illustrator. Now in Illustrator, let's see, let's see how many projects I got. My Cleveland logo, Cleveland billboard, and my website. Okay, so my Cleveland logo. I've got quite a few in here. I've got different alternatives that I can use as well. Do I want to use them all? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just this one. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to save as. And let's do native projects. Actually, I'm going to do PDF. Project PDF. So I can stay organized, making sure that this is CC, project PDF. Okay. There we go. I don't need any marks and bleeds. Take all your marks and bleeds off. We don't want to see any of those because you're not going to implement them in for your portfolio. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do my Cleveland billboards. But before I do that, I need to look at something. I'm going to do Command D as in dog. Let me see what size this is. It's only an 843.49 kilobyte. Let me see if I can get that to be a little smaller. Now, if I go back over here to the logo, I'm going to go to File, Save As, PDF, and Save, and Replace. I probably already did it. I'm going to come over here to smallest file size. Normally, if this was for print, we would want high quality, okay? But for this, we want a smallest file size because it takes longer to upload, right? So smallest file size, we want no marks and bleeds, okay? When we uncheck smallest file size, this preserve Illustrator editing capabilities unchecks, which is good. So if we look, watch, high quality, there it is right there. We uncheck that. So I'm gonna go to smallest file size, make sure that, and then we can save this as a preset right here. DES250, and I've already done it so many times, so. And save PDF. Let's take a look and see. Well, it's, of course it made 4, but that's okay. Command D as in dog. It's still 843.49. I'm gonna go to File, Save As, Other, Reduced Size PDF. Say okay. Now I'm going to do it outside of it because if I don't, it won't allow me to save it. It's something with my system. So 83759, it didn't really go down that much, which is fine. All right, so let me go to the next one. The billboards. There's my billboards here, right? And I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to save it as Project PDF. And then I am going to click Save. Now, what do I need to do here? Remember?
Go to the smallest file size.
Actually, I need to go to my preset, right? All I have to do is click 250 and save.
Okay.
Just like that. Now let's go Command D as in dog. Look at that. 459.49 kilobytes. That's 3 billboards. How cool is that? If we want to, we could probably go and save this other, reduce file size. And I'm going to do it outside of that. And I'll put them back in my project PDF in a minute. Command D as in dog. 42962. It still went down a little bit. Okay. Okay. So that's the billboards. All right. Let me pop over to InDesign. This is the website. I'm going to go to File. And I'm going to export. Right? PDF for print, and I'm going to save. Again, there's my DES250. It's already there. Make sure there's no marks and bleeds, and I'm going to go ahead and export it. It says it's missing some links, but I don't know right at the moment where the heck they are, so it's no big deal. 205.62 kilobytes. Very small, right? And I have these all open for a reason. I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can combine your files. Okay. All right. So now I need to go to Photoshop because I need my postcard that goes there, right? File. I am going to save as and Photoshop PDF. The difference is with this one, you need to uncheck layers. The reason why is because if you do not, what's going to happen is the file size will be a lot bigger. I repeat, Photoshop is the one where you have to make sure that you uncheck layers. It'll put it as a copy. And then you're going to save. You're going to uncheck, or you're going to come here 250. This is fine. It'll uncheck it for you, right? And then save PDF. Now, for some reason, it does not open up with Photoshop, but you got 199 KB. It's very, very small. At this point, you know, we've got one whole campaign, right? Now, is one whole campaign one project? Not always, okay? So the Cleveland logo and the Cleveland billboards, I put together. The Cleveland website and the Cleveland postcard, I put together. So that's 2 projects, okay? I'm gonna come over here and open, oh, actually, let me just open it. I'll open it from here. All right, there's a reason why I have them open. I'm gonna show you why. Okay, so this is done. All right, so now I've got just 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so my milk carton. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to save as PDF. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do my DES250. No marks and bleeds, and save. Come on. Okay. Command D as in dog. Look at that. They're just really small files. And if you do them correctly, you should have no problem with that. File, save as. Oh, wait, let me show you this first. This has the Stella's Foundation logo, the business cards, and the letterhead, and the envelope. It's just far away. So File, save as. I'm going to go to PDF, but I want to show you how big this file would be if I take it to a regular. So I'm just going to do it outside. Save. It's just a regular high quality, and that's good, and save. Okay. Command D, it says 458 KB. So it's really only the logo and some color, so it's not as big. But if there was images in here, let me take this. What is this? File, export. No, I'm sorry. I'm in InDesign on my brain. Stella's letterhead right there. And I'm going to use my 250. Save. Yeah, okay. Command D as in dog. Look at that, 83 KB. Okay. T-package. File and save as. And again, 250, make sure there's no marks and bleeds. And then, this isn't the one that I want. It's okay. There it is right there. That's the one that I want. There's a reason why I'm doing that one, because it has all the pieces. So we will file and export. No, not export. With me again. And desktop project PDF. And 250. And save. Okay, Command D as in dog. Look at that, 441.62. All right. Now there's two different ways that we can do this. Okay, first thing that I want to do is I'm going to go grab on my desktop the PDF. Project PDF there. All right, I've got one. Nope, I got the AI in there. Why do I have it in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's because I've got that there. Okay. Wait a minute. Postcard website. Where did the website go? No, that's weird. I just had that. Postcard website. Huh. Well, I don't know what I did with it. I know I saved it. Cleveland billboards. What's that? That's okay. I'll just paste that one. That's right there. All right. So I'm going to keep this for the moment like it is, but I'm going to put it on the other screen, but I'm going to show you. Now, say for instance, we want to combine these with dragging and dropping, right? So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to, I tore one away, okay? I'm going to hit this right here, the little launch pad. Let me just bring this a little bit more narrow if I can get it. Okay. I don't need all these logos. I'm going to take the black and white versions out. I selected Command, and I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to delete those pages. Say OK and OK. Now I just want these two. I've got the vertical and the horizontal, right? I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. There. Make it a little bit smaller. And what I want to do is I'm going to hit this little triangle right here and do the same thing with the launch. Okay. I'm going to hold my Shift key or my Command key, whichever you want to select, and I'm going to drag them. I can close these billboards. I'm going to open this one. I like this way because it's kind of fun, dragging and dropping me. It's just how I like to do it. But then you can do it the other way. I'm going to show you the other way here in a minute. But every one I do, and then just kind of close it. Now notice that I'm keeping everything. Really? I didn't ask you to do all that. I'm keeping everything consistent with making sure I have my all my Cleveland information with my Cleveland information. Okay. So that's done. So there's my campaign for Cleveland, right? Now I've got, I'm going to do Stella's letterhead. That's print. Okay. I keep forgetting to. Hold on. Open recent Stella's. There it is right there. Okay, we're not opening. There we go. You can select them all that way too. Drag and around it. Okay. And drag it down here. Now if I scroll down, there's a certain order that I want this in. I would present it with the logo first, of course, right? And I don't have, looks like I don't have the opposite, but that's okay. I'll just leave that in there. I've got my letterhead and I've got my business. So I'm going to do my business card. I mean, there's no right or wrong, but I like to be organized. And this is where the letterhead and the envelope belong together, right? Business card. It's just, all right. So these three are die lines. That's why I waited, because I have three of them in the back. So this is my milk carton. Why do I keep doing that? I don't know why I do that. I try to drag it into there and not even realize what the heck I'm doing there. There we go. Come on. All right. There's that one. Can you open, please? Thank you. There we go. And drag that. And then this one. Come on. Thank you. Now this can be closed. These are done. All right. Now this, it says Cleveland logo, right? We need to go to File and we need to save as other. We'll reduce size it anyway. We want to save it. Okay, Wash. Let's File, save as, reduce file size, choose a different folder. I'll put it just on the desktop for the moment because you saw that thing that I just got, that error message. So this is going to be DES250. Let's go and DES250 week 1 portfolio revise first and last name. So you can just copy this. Probably be easier for you. Like this. Make sure you put your name. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and save. Oh, why? Why wouldn't it let me save it? Something is going on with this thing. Save as. There we go. Oh, see, my Adobe has been acting silly. My Acrobat. I love when that happens. All right, let me see if it did save. I doubt it. Nope, it didn't save. All right, well, that's okay. You can do it like that, or you can file and create, combine files into a single PDF. Now, when you come here, go to your little sprocket. Usually, if it has save as portfolio, you need to uncheck that, okay? Because if you send me a portfolio, I cannot give you, I mean, I can give you critique, but your instructor or your FPA cannot comment on it, okay? You want to click on this last one, the first one, the smallest file size, okay? Just make sure. Now you can come here and you can add files here. And we saved our project PDFs, right? And everything's in order. I'm going to hold my shift key, select all of them, and add files. And I can drag things around again the same way. Okay. Oh, this one over here. And there's all three, and I'm going to combine. Give it a second. Now this says binder. Hopefully I can save it without it crashing. Save as. Let me do, I'm not going to do reduce file size right yet. I'm going to go desktop and binder. All right. So let's see what the size is. 9.15 megabytes. So it's way under, right? But let's file, save as other, reduce size, PDF. I'm going to come over here and put it in the right folder this time because my machine's the only, I don't know why it does that. It won't allow me to save it in the same folder. It'll tell me it contains image mass that we're not downsampled. Sometimes it does that. That's quite okay. Command D as in dog. Look at that. 9.11. It didn't take it down too much, but it took it down a little bit, right? So all the projects that we have 18 pieces, okay? You hit this right here. Let's take a look. Oh, I want to take that out. I forgot I had to take this out. I'm going to delete those. There we go. Command S, save it. And I did not move this around. Sometimes I just move this around a little bit. Letterhead, envelope. I just like things to be in a certain order. Anybody else that same way? Okay. So these are the projects that I'm submitting, right? All right. Any questions? Okay. Is there anything you guys want to see? We got about 15 minutes, so you want me to show you paragraph styles or anything particular? You can unmute your mic and let me know.
I have a question.
Sure.
Now it only took me 24 years, but I finally came up with a logo for myself with a whole campaign. Now, would I be able to use that in my portfolio?
No, I won't allow those because here's why. My rationale for that is you are in the line of work of doing projects for your clients, right? You don't want to put things in your portfolio that you created for yourself.
All right, no, that's fine. I just figured if it was a campaign like that, because it's the letterheads business logo. So, but no, I just wanted to ask. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you have another logo, you can do that same thing.
I got lots of logos, but I'm trying to put myself out there too, you know?
No, I get it. I get it. But I mean, you really don't want to put something like that in your portfolio. It's more of a, that's something you're going to promote yourself on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, things like that. You know, put your business card. There's a lot of these groups out there that allow you to put your business card out.
Yeah, I know that.
They put them on the, the cover photo or whatever,
I'm still kind of like underground myself, but I have a pretty strong clientele. But I was just asking. That was just a question. So.
Okay. Anything that you guys want to see? How are you guys on paragraph styles? And I'll be doing them tomorrow. All right, if there's no questions, then we'll close down lecture for today. We'll just run a little 15 minutes later tomorrow, because I'm going to be showing master pages tomorrow and paragraph styles, as well as grids and columns and all that. Excuse me, all that kind of stuff with your resume. And I'm actually going to show you how to make a simple logo too. Sound good? So make sure that you contact your associate deans or FPAs right away. It is very important that you contact them today or tomorrow. The sooner you contact them, the sooner you will get your projects back. If for some reason you do not hear from your FPA, please email me and let me know. Do not wait till Saturday and say, I haven't heard anything from my FPA. I'm going to ask you in turn, well, how come you didn't let me know that sooner? So just make sure that you contact me and let me know so I can get an email out there as well. Go ahead.
I've already been talking to mine about it.
Okay. Who's your
I sent
FPA?
her an email actually this morning.
Who's your FPA?
Sarah Moss.
Sarah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sarah's good. She's a good person.
Yeah, I like her.
Well, they all are. So, but I know them personally. I mean, I'm an associate dean as well. So, all right. You know what? Actually, before we go, I do want to say one thing with everybody too. Also, as you guys know, I'm an instructor, but I'm also an associate dean, just like I said. But I'm an associate dean that I help with employment. So with this class, somewhere in the middle of the class or before the end of the class, I want to make an appointment with each one of you to interview you and talk with you to see where your strengths and weaknesses are. See, there's that strengths and weaknesses thing, right? And I want to talk to you a little more about developing a 30-second elevator speech, and then find out, you know, where you want to work. Do you want to work in-house? Do you want to work freelance? And what geographic region you're in and things like that. So I can get you some resources to start planning. So please email me and let me know when you would like to make an appointment. I do have appointments, let's see, Monday, probably Monday nights, or Monday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon after lecture. No, not Tuesday, I'm sorry. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday is usually the times that I have, and Friday. So I have those days available, usually after lectures. So
this is just anytime this week?
Anytime before the end of the module.
Okay.
I just want to help you, give you some resources so you're prepared to get out into the field, right? And here we are. We're going to be sending you out there with a polished portfolio and a resume. Why not go a few steps farther, right?
Sure, why not?
So it's the more that I know, the more I can help you guys. And then you will also, I mean, we take advantage of career services as well. That's a lifetime service.
Yeah, Melissa Hurd is like actually doing
The workshop
webinar right now. Yeah.
I'm with her. That's why.
She's supposed to call me sometime this week. I couldn't go to the things because of being I've been in graduations for the most part the last few weeks. So
okay.
I've been missing them. So
she'll give you the links for them and stuff. I guess we're gonna probably the last one's Friday this week, and then we'll probably be starting them again the following week. So,
well, I would like to watch them now that I have time to.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And,
Yeah, I actually I'm with Melissa. I'm not actually career services, but I'm GA. I'm graphic design, and I help with everything, and I do a lot of the interviews and I do the portfolio reviews. So you can let her know that you're not going to need a portfolio review because you're in this class.
Okay.
I can talk to her later either way. So, all right.
All right. Well, I will email you to set up a time for that.
Okay. All right, guys. I look forward to working with you this module. I'm excited to see your projects. With that being said, we're going to close for today, and I will see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Have a great day, guys.
You too.